Actor Joseph Gordon Levitt has confirmed that he will star in and direct the upcoming Warner Brothers film adaptation of the popular graphic novel series Sandman. The film will be based on a script written by Dark Knight and Man of Steel writer David Goyer. John, what do you think of Levitt's involvement in Sandman?
You know, it's funny. Sandman is one of these... and just to be clear here, we're not talking about the Spider-Man villain Sandman. We're talking about the Neil Gaiman Sandman. It's a very different Sandman, but let's be clear about that. Sandman is one of these characters that if you were to ask me, do I think you could make a commercially successful Sandman film? I would express my reservations. I mean, everybody in the comic book world knows them, but as you know, we've expressed here before, those of us in the comic book world are a finite minority when it comes to large. Also, the themes of Sandman. You know, of Morpheus, of the Dream Master. And this is a huge, kind of very weird kind of thing that's not going to be easy to market. Not that it can't be done. I'm just saying it's going to be a challenge. The people at Warner Brothers are going to have a challenge in front of them. But if you're going to get a guy like Joseph Gordon Levitt involved, this is the right guy to get involved. I loved his first directorial effort with Don John. I thought he did a great job directing that film. He's obviously a magnificent actor. Would he have been the guy, if we put together a dream casting list for Sandman, would Joseph Gordon Levitt have been on my list? I probably wouldn't have thought of him. But now that you put it in front of me, it's like, hey, an actor of this caliber. And you know, we also should point out, he's looking at directing it and writing it, probably producing it as well. David Goyer writing the script. You know, I have to be optimistic at this point. I'm not jumping up and down yet because I still question whether Sandman can be commercially successful. But aside from that, this all looks good to me. I love the story of Sandman. I love this actor, and I love him as a director. I'm enthusiastic. Aaron, what do you think?
I'm thinking finally this is happening. This is a project that's been in development hell for the past 10 years, and I've been waiting to see what was going to happen with this property, and I'm so glad that it's being put together, especially with JGL involved. I'm a huge fan of his. I think he's a great actor and a great director as well. I love Don John, but I am a little surprised that he's doing both for this film. It kind of caught me a little bit off guard, but I am, like you, very optimistic for this, and I can't wait to see what happens with this on the big screen.
Dennis?
Well, Joseph Gordon Levitt actually just tweeted recently to clarify that he is producing this project, and as far as acting and directing, it remains to be seen. So
Right.
those two are not definite, even though I think it's a strong possibility.
Yeah, it came from a very solid source
Yes.
that he was going to do both. But you're right. You're right to point that out, that he hasn't confirmed those other parts yet.
Sandman is one of those things that, like, I know a lot of the comic book world loves and a passionate fan base. I've read some, I liked it, but it's not my thing. So it's not like something I'm passionate, like, oh man, they got to make a Sandman movie. The one thing I'm a little skeptical of is that they've been talking about Sandman movie or TV show for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
They've always,
long time.
there's one coming, there's one coming. And like, I agree with you in the sense of it's not a commercially successful, viable franchise.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
challenging.
but maybe The Matrix wasn't when they were pitching that to studios. You think someone was like, yeah, this is going to make a lot of money, guys.
This is beyond.
This does go beyond Matrix. I mean, Matrix at least was a
like
really wild
Inception.
sci-fi. This is even beyond Inception.
Yes.
I mean, when you look at Morpheus and you look at Death and what were all the D's, all of his brothers and sisters, the D's. I can't remember. I just remember Death. But I mean, this is a tough one for people to get their heads around.
Yeah.
And I think if they do, they're going to like it. It's just that first breaking that wall to get them to take that risk to go and see it. It'll all depend on how it's marketed. I mean, really, this movie's going to live and die by its marketing if it actually happens. And it's a challenge, but let's keep our fingers crossed because this is a story that deserves to be told.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.